John F. Kennedy said, "Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future." That's just one pearl of wisdom from one of our favorite change agents. Deborah Smith Pegues is a certified public accountant, a Bible teacher, and certified behavioral consultant. Wouldn't you like to take her home? She took us on a 30-day journey to Taming Your Tongue. How many years ago?
In 2005.
2005? And I think this is your 4th visit?
Well, this is my 15th book.
But how many times have you been here to us?
4th time here. 4th times
Fourth
here.
time?
Yes, absolutely.
Trying to shape us in a good way. And here's the challenge. So hot off the press, this is Deborah's first interview. Change your attitude. Change your life in 30 days. Yes. Of course, 30 days, because that's how long it takes to develop a new habit.
That's right. And we know we won't accomplish the whole thing, but we'll become sensitive to it in 30 days.
Okay, Deborah, I'm excited about this, as with every other book, but you know, I don't remember meeting your dear husband before today.
Well, you missed the treat, because we've been married 35 years, and he's the most awesome man in the whole world.
Well, there's the photo, and we actually have him here live in person. We won't embarrass him and drag him up here. You've got another photo that's just too fun, because, you know, I'm a wee bit addicted to matching. Yeah. And look at this family photo. Somebody told me that you bought the ties for the men, Deborah.
Well, I did. I wanted my family. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was my mom's 80th birthday, and she's gone on to be with the Lord since then. It was the last major activity we had where everybody came together before she went home.
Oh, how so
sweet. It's great, though. She lived a good life, and God fortified me for her leaving, and so I'm good. Yesterday wasn't tough at all.
Good. Oh, that's so good to hear, because for so many, that is a tough day when Mom's gone on. Well, the fruit of her investment, just, you take it everywhere. I want to tell folks that, is it 9 years you've worked with West Angeles Church as Chief Financial Officer? Yes. You consult with many other churches.
I do, and it's fun to see the people of God and their pursuit of what God is calling them to do. Yeah.
You're some woman, but you take time to bring these, you know, it's almost, forgive me for saying it, but it's almost a better life for dummies. I mean, you really break it down to simple, short chapters and practical wisdom.
Because people are busy, and I know they don't want to read a lot, but the Bible is practical, and I'm just on a mission to make sure that people learn how to embrace the Word of God and make it a part of their lives. And so when I'm talking about changing your attitude and changing your life, you have to choose. You got to choose which mindset you're going to have towards any problem. And it's broad. It covers the financial, the relational, the whatever, because everything we do is based on an attitude, a mindset. And so that's the whole purpose of the book, is to choose the right mindset, the right perspective, so that you can have the joy and you can go forward with passion. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite chapters.
Oh, really?
In the 30 days, right? 30 different things. But I loved day 3. Choose to live passionately, because you actually give 4 practical goals to renew your passion for life and compassion for others.
Yes.
That's a great one. But let me make this point, because you start with this. This is not a pep talk on maintaining a positive attitude.
No, it's not a pep talk. What it is, there are 30 different attitudes, and so each day I challenge you, just choose one. Choose one that you're going to embrace. So whether today is the day you're going to decide to not be apathetic or not be critical or whatever, you're going to choose one. Because I believe we should always be challenging, I say, our flesh to go to another level. Always challenging your natural man to be more spiritual. And so that's what this is. And it walks you through. It gives you scriptures. For instance, when you mentioned the fact that I have 4 different areas, I have this concept of a stool being a belief system, and then there are 4 legs: the relational, the physical, the emotional, and the financial. We have mindsets and things we think about each aspect of that. So I'll say, okay, what's your financial mindset? Do you believe that God's going to meet all your needs according to his riches and glory? If you have that attitude, you're not going to be depressed and worried about, I'm 60 and I have no retirement, because you're going to do what you have to do, but you're going to know ultimately that your life is in God's hands. Yeah.
Well, you selected some chapters that our time is short, and of course you're going to have to get the book to work through the 30 days that can really change your life. I love that you picked this one. It's day 9.
Okay.
Choose healthy expectations. The wrong attitude is entitlement. And why do I love this? Because I'm discovering that sometimes it's just one little thing that puts someone off, and that's it for church attendance.
Absolutely.
Just for an example.
Church attendance, because we all have expectations, and either they're unexpressed or unreasonable, and sometimes you got to stop and ask and reevaluate those expectations. First of all, we treat an expectation like it's a right. So in the book, I challenge you to listen, don't have that entitlement attitude, because sometimes we think we have a title, we hold title to someone because of the title we hold in that relationship. So I'm supposed to get this because I'm the mother, or I'm supposed to get this because I'm the sister. And so we have to step back and say, are those expectations reasonable, and have I elevated that expectation to a right?
Choose to think positively of others.
That means not being critical. Isn't it easy to criticize? I was reading the story of Miriam the other day and how she criticized Moses for marrying the Ethiopian woman. Interestingly, two things happened. God struck her with leprosy, and because of that, she had to be isolated from the camp. For 7 days, nobody could go forward. The children of Israel are on their way to the promised land. I get a great principle out of that, two great principles. First of all, being critical isolates you. It isolates you. Nobody wants to be with you when you're always critical. But people like to be with people that make them feel good. They really do. And secondly, nobody else can move forward. A lot of times when we're critical of other people, it causes them not to be able to move forward in their lives, because those words stick in their minds like shrapnel. And so we got to make sure that we're always being an encouraging person, choosing to see the best. Yes, we can bring constructive input, but in general, we need to focus on just showing people how they can make it.
Build one another up. The script, not pull them down.
That's right.
I see that restricting influence.
Yes.
Day 15.
Okay.
Choose to walk in humility.
Humility. It's such a paradox, Moira. When the Bible says if you humble yourself, God will exalt you. But if you exalt yourself, he will humble you.
Okay.
So listen, we don't need to take credit for what God is doing. We just need to make sure we always remember to give him the glory. So anytime you think that you achieved something because of your own effort, or, I did this because I was really good, not good. So you always got to remember John 15:5, that, apart from him, we can do absolutely nothing. I try to remind myself of that every day. Or if I accomplish anything that somebody can praise me for, I try to remember that apart from God, I can do nothing. So I don't want to steal his glory.
Or have a haughty attitude.
Ooh, haughty.
That's what you're countering.
Yes, I'm countering that haughty attitude, because pride goes before destruction, a haughty attitude before a fall. I don't want to fall. I really want God to be glorified in my life.
I could just camp on day 18 because I think it's so important. Choose flexibility. Did you ever read The Velveteen Rabbit? I mean, the horse in The Velveteen Rabbit is trying, he's in the toy room, this is the toy room, is trying to explain to the bunny that, some people have to be handled carefully. They break easily. And do you know people like that?
Yes.
You have to tiptoe around when you're walking on eggshells. They're going to react to everything.
And they're so rigid, but I have to tell you that this is my attitude that I have to work on, because when I make my plans, I like to put them in cement. I don't like people changing my plans.
You're not a control freak, though.
Okay, I don't want to label it, but let's just say I'm challenged in that area. But really, I want to be flexible, because remember the story of Naaman when he came down to be healed by Elisha, healed of his leprosy? And he said, well, I thought you, and Elisha came out, didn't even come out, send someone else out to say, go wash in the lake, go dip in the dirty Jordan 7 times. And he said, I don't want to do that. This is how I had it planned. You're going to come out, wave your hand over the place where I have the leprosy, and I'm going to be healed. And he almost missed his blessing because he was inflexible. And so, see, we can miss out on what God is doing because we've already decided in our minds how it's supposed to go. And so I want to make sure that my inflexibility doesn't cause me to miss a blessing. So, most of us don't want things to change, but listen, change is good. We started out talking about that. Change is an opportunity for growth. And so if we remember that, not to keep God in our little box, but to stay open to what he's doing, I think we're going to have a much higher quality of life.
The principal at a Bible school I attended many years ago, he said often, just when you think you know what God is up to, he up and changes the plan. So, really, faith is crippled when you hold too tightly to your plan.
Well, it is, and see, it's a natural thing to do because we don't like to think of things outside of our control. We feel more comfortable when we know what the outcome is going to be. I think that's why people seek out fortune tellers and all that. We want to know the future. We want to know exactly what's going to happen. But the just shall live by faith. That means we don't always see where we're going. But one thing we know, he loves us, and all the days ordained for us were written in his book before one of them came to be. And so I tell myself things like that. God has purpose. Who can thwart him? Just flow with what he's doing. Now, I tell myself that because the faith comes by hearing, so I need to hear myself saying that.
You say there are some of these you're still working on.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Attitude shifts.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm sure people are picking up, the illustrations here are modern day real life people, but also you've learned so much from the biblical examples.
Because I'm passionate about people getting into the Bible. Because listen, that's our guidebook. You know, someone says Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. I really believe the Bible is here for us to walk it out. And so I always like to take people back to the principles of the Bible and the stories and get the meaning so that we can apply them to ourselves.
Oh, time ticking, but maybe this is a good one to end on. Day 26, choose to be an optimist.
An optimist. I was studying that word optimist the other day. It means the best, the ultimate. An optimist always expects the very best. The very best. A pessimist expects the very worst. And why shouldn't we be optimists? Think about it. We have the spirit of the all-knowing, all-powerful, ever-present God in us. Surely things are always going to work out for our good. It may not work out to our liking or our convenience, but ultimately there's going to be something that we can learn in that. And if we start with that as a mindset, as a perspective, then we're going to be much happier and we're going to be much more productive. We won't be a victim. We won't get stuck in wishing things shouldn't have happened. We won't do any of those things because we know somewhere, somehow in the future, God is working this out for my good. So I'm an optimist. It's going to work.
Don't you feel better already? I do. Wow. This book, by the way, I'm reading what it says at the beginning. This book is dedicated to every reader who would dare to commit to displaying the right attitude in every situation.
Every situation. It's a conscious decision. We have to be intentional. Decide today, my attitude is going to be positive no matter what. No matter what.
Okay, well, if you're taking this seriously, you will need a copy of Deborah's book. Choose Your Attitude, Change Your Life is at our e-store. Can't wait for the next one, Deborah. You just keep helping us, and it's great.
Thank you so much.
Bless you.